First, a special report on the epic humanitarian crisis unfolding in East Africa. Millions of people are starving as famine spreads across the region. The worst hit country is war-ravaged Somalia, where more than half the population is in desperate need of help. But getting it is a major challenge, with aid supplies disrupted by fighting between Islamist militants and government troops. Africa correspondent Ginny Stein has travelled to the heart of the crisis in Mogadishu, the most dangerous city in the world.
This is a flight few outsiders have dared to make in recent years. Somalia has been a virtual no-go zone for 2 decades. Civil war and an Islamic insurgency led by the militant group Al-Shabaab has seen the strife-torn nation retreat into itself. Through wars and famines, Australian aid worker Tony Burns has been one of the few regular foreign visitors to the capital Mogadishu.
It's quiet because the problem was Al-Shabaab. When Al-Shabaab left, people are a little bit relaxed.
However, nothing has prepared Tony Burns for what he's about to see. Mogadishu has become the world's largest refugee camp. Such is the devastation from the famine that people see this war-torn city as their only hope for survival.
Just the flood of humanity is just beyond comprehension in terms of what's actually available for these people to eat, for nutrition, for health services. There's just nothing. This whole area that we're moving through now was all Shabaab control a week ago. So, as you can see already, as we drive along the road, hundreds and thousands of new IDPs flooding into the city to try and take advantage of these newly liberated areas.
Well, the guns have fallen silent and the terror has subsided. Making it to Mogadishu does not guarantee survival. For the desperate and hungry, there is very little on offer here in this city. Mogadishu, normally a population of about 2 million people, has now taken in more than 400,000 new arrivals. One of those who made it is Arden. He arrived last night with his wife and 7 children. He's been allocated this tiny spot to make a shelter for his family. They set out 11 days ago, a decision driven by hunger.
For 3 consecutive days and nights, not one of us in my family had eaten.
He considers himself lucky, unlike those he left behind.
They are very desperate, but they did not have money for transport out, so they had to stay.
The Somali government is trying to consolidate the thousands of new arrivals into camps like this one. A week ago, a gunfight erupted here in a fight over food. Government troops who were meant to protect the camp looted what little food there was.
Dry food was being given out and there wasn't sufficient security preparation, and they gave the mandate for that to the Transitional Federal Government, and it was the Transitional Federal Government that was involved in the shooting and looting.
Somalia's Prime Minister Abdiweli Mohamed Ali, a Harvard-trained economist, is grateful for the international community's response. As the leader of a transitional government which is backed and funded by the West, he's careful about biting the hand that feeds him.
We have sometimes logistical problems and the extent of the famine and, for example, the amount of food that we receive are not quite proportional. So that might create some lack of people coming and immediately not receiving aid.
For new arrivals at this camp, one of the hundreds that have sprung up around the city, food aid is spread thinly. It's the luck of the draw.
Some Islamic charities have done some food and we're doing child nutrition, but it's not enough. It's just maybe 20% of the actual need, and the need is growing daily.
For the past 3 years, as the battle against Al-Shabaab raged, food kitchens spread across the city kept these people alive. But budget cuts are biting.
At the moment, those calories are down to about 1,200 calories per person and dropping.
1 week before the famine was declared, these kitchens, which rely on food from the World Food Programme to exist, were almost shut down.
We were told that the kitchen program was no longer required, that they would like to transfer the funds to other priorities, and that they didn't really believe that there was an emergency any longer in Mogadishu.
This local aid agency serves up 80,000 meals, which are shared between almost 300,000 people, 6 days a week.
It's cooked well?
It's cooked well. A little less oil than normal. But we have Russian cuts.
Yeah, Russian cuts.
While no one is disputing the demand and the best of intentions of many, the fate of millions of Somalis remains very much at risk.
The World Food Programme has a problem with cash and a problem with food. Their pipeline is an average of 3 months, and even if they get money now, that means that it's 3 months before we actually see the food on the ground.
Ginny Stein there in Mogadishu, and if you'd like to donate, please contact the UNHCR on 1300 440 433 or go to unrefugees.org.au.